This is Robert Goodman from Positive Strokes. Today I want to talk about having a sponsor. If you are in a 12-step program, they suggest that you have a sponsor. I have a sponsor. I also have a grand sponsor. Someone who brought me through the steps 1 through 12. You see, if I hold it up to my own thinking and do things my way, then I will pick up and use again. The reason why I know this is because I've been through the program and relapsed 5 times, doing it my way. I realized that I had to get step 1 right, totally right. That I admit that I was powerless over alcohol and drugs, that my life had come unmanageable. Then I had to understand that number 2, that I had to get a power greater than myself to restore me to sanity. Once I got 1 and 2 down, I was able to work the program of recovery. So as I got some time in and I built and got rid of the fog of the addiction and the drugs, and my mind was clear and I was understanding the information, I needed someone to walk me through these steps. Someone that would call me on my bull. Someone that when I try to use that addictive behavior, that would call me on it and tell me that I must change my behavior. Someone that won't lie to me. Someone who will call me out on my stuff. And I have to be willing to follow suggestions. A sponsor ain't the person that you call about your love life. A sponsor is not the one that you call up because you need to pay your car note. He is not none of that. A sponsor is only a person to bring you through the 12 steps of the 12-step program so you can be and learn how to live clean and sober. That is it. That is their job. My sponsor told me that I need to text him every day, let me know how I am doing, and then tell him 5 things that I'm grateful for today. When I missed a day, he called me up. He said, "You didn't pay your phone bill?" I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "Were you sick? Were you in the hospital?" "No." He said, "Well, then there's no reason why you shouldn't text me and let me know how you're doing." He told me that it's my job to work as hard as I did for my drugs, to work for my recovery. That I'm taking time from him to be with his family and to do things that he needs to do. He doesn't get paid for doing it. In the program, one addict helping another addict is without parallel. It's the perfect program for recovering addicts. I listened. I had to write. I had to call him up. When things wasn't going right, I had to let him know how I was feeling. And the funny thing is, I was happy to have the sponsor because I had someone I could share openly, honest, and not judge me for what I was feeling or what I was going through or what I did in the past. Finally, I had someone to work with me to make me a better person. That his compassion to help another addict was unbelievable. You know, I've tried it all kinds of ways. I tried it by myself. I tried it by self-will. I've tried it so many ways, and none of them work. The only time it worked is when I stopped driving the car, when I stopped having the control, when I had taken suggestions, following the suggestions, made my life easier and more bearable to deal with my problem of addiction. You see, I wanted what he had. He had the family, he had the car, he had the nice job, he had money in his pocket, and most of all, he was happy and he had peace within himself. And that's what I wanted, was that peace. So as I worked my steps in the step 4, I began to get some of that peace because I started getting rid of all that stuff I've been carrying around for so many years, that I've been holding it in. I gave it to a power greater than myself, which allowed me to be restored to sanity. Oh yes, you go to meetings and some people, it's like a revolving door. You see him 1 week and you may not see him for 4 weeks, and you see him bad, and it's a sad situation. He said, you're going to see 2 things if you stay in the program recovery. You're going to bury a lot of people, and you're going to go to a lot of weddings. I found out being in the rooms, the ones I thought that wouldn't make it, made it. The ones I thought that was going to make it, didn't make it. So I never knew who was serious about their program of recovery. He told me, don't worry about that. What you need to do, worry about yourself, Robert. You need to keep the focus on your program. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. Because if you don't, when the storm comes, he said, you're going to fall. And you're going to go pick up. And then you're going to be left off right where you was. But even worse, because the body and the mind is hungry. And it can't wait to get them drugs into you. And once they get into you, it's an obsession all over again. Yes. Getting clean and sober is a 1 day at a time job. 1 day at a time, sometimes it's 1 minute at a time. But each obstacle that I've overcome makes the next one obstacle that I overcome easy to overcome and to deal with and face. Each obstacle that I overcome in my addiction, the better person I become to be, and the stronger I get in my recovery. If you, like me, hard-headed, because I'm hard-headed. My head was so hard that my behind got real soft. And now I'm willing to do anything to get it right and stay clean and sober. I'm thankful that you took the time to watch the video. I'm just sharing just my information that I've learned. I have a sponsor. I stay in contact with him. He knows everything about me. He doesn't judge me. He makes me feel good about myself. He calls me on my shit, and he makes me a better person. I only know a little. The minute when I think I know too much, I'm setting myself up for a relapse. I only know a little. But if I think I know too much, I'm setting myself up for a relapse. Like I always say, drugs made me a dope. Now I got hope because I ain't a dope anymore because I'm clean and sober, fighting to stay alive in recovery. You have a great day.